here. Usually
Really?
we see
Okay,
that at
that
the
would make
beginning,
sense.
but
Yeah, yeah.
with the whole Haunter lobbies, that was all automatic. But with this, I guess they just decided to roll for game number 3. And it is game number 3 with that said, too. I know it says game number 2 at the top. Anyways, so yeah, that's kind of where things stand. But the locking phase moving along here. Wild Soul for the first time locked up this time.
Yeah, Wild Soul locked up. No real major Uber tier locks in response, except for the Master of Arms. No Ophelia in the pool though, so and no Keeper, so no synergy there. Still a very strong hero in his own right, but a little bit less value in this circumstance.
Yeah. Yeah, so Glacius, Wild Soul, Parasite, Luna, Master of Arms, TPS Priceless. Going to think about that third and final one. By the way, the winner of this will play the winner of our next series in Trademark Esports and Team Excellent. Again, they're going to be playing more than likely right after we finish this one. It's they were set to take place at 4 p.m. Eastern, as you can see on my clock right here. It's only 3:05, so I'm sure we're going to have a good game here, and then right after it, jump into that series most likely. So,
yep, nonstop action.
yeah, looking forward to that. Rally, the final lock coming out, and into the banning phase we go now. Is Torturer banned right off the bat here by good old Cats Gaming. Fade the follow-up. Not going to want to see him. So yeah, good chance we could possibly see the Wild Soul this time around now. Once again in that lock pool here. Not guaranteed by any means. I mean, we've seen that.
The Torture ban just goes back to game 1 where the Torture and the Keeper of the Forest together just ran train, not wanting to deal with it again.
So, was I actually... I want to make sure...
Bulls is still available. Zephyr is still available.
Plenty. You know, I do remember Cats Gaming. It wasn't... No, it wasn't even Cats Gaming, that's right. It was actually Team GA. Wow, that was 2 DreamHacks ago. This guy named Zulu4 from Team GA. He was a very entertaining guy, first off. We did an interview with him at DreamHack, and he was a lot of fun to talk with. Very, very cocky individual, but it was kind of fun knowing, in the sense that in the end they knew that they were going to be overwhelmed most likely by the competition there, but they were really just having fun with it. Anyways, he actually played our Artesia, from what I remember, and played it pretty damn well, an online event even. And so maybe one can hope, but probably not here.
Yeah. Well, one of the trees is making it through this game. Deadwood is picked up. We talked Pebbles did get banned out, so the value of that Deadwood also increasing here. Fade not being able to pick in response. Just sort of looking at Rally maybe out of the lock pool. Wild Soul's a hero that both teams ended up banning out. Who actually locked it here going back? It would probably be the Hellborn, right?
Yes.
Pikachu locking the Wild Soul, but they do go with a DS Zephyr. One might feel like if they have a DS Zephyr and a Wild Soul, they might lack in responsiveness or burst.
Yes. That could be Zephyr, not known as the most bursty hero. But of course that's where he does shine, is the sustainability and the damage over time and how it just can add up. And especially with a hero like Demented Shaman, of course. That's why we see that pair a lot, both in the laning phase and eventually throughout the game. So
we like to see a Luna a lot with that Deadwood. And with a couple supports in that lock pool, maybe we'll see Cats wind up looking to draft one of them. Obviously, Master potentially usable as a support too, so we could see them skip the idea of picking one of the other heroes left in the pool now and for a couple of the other supports. So they actually do go for Andro right here.
Yeah.
So
I was thinking that.
Well,
Go ahead.
Well, I was going to say they don't have to really grab a jungler, though, so they can grab 2 supports this game, and go with the dual lanes.
Yeah, and again, especially when you're always going up against the Zephyr lineup, it seems like earlier on than later they start to group up and make those pushes happen. So especially if you're more of a passive, go for more of a passive jungler, that could hurt you in a sense. So but Parasite, not necessarily passive by any means, but Monkey King going to be the final pick actually coming out from Cats Gaming here. So it seems like they want that physical damage presence, and Zephyr, as we always go back to, he is deceptively tanky earlier on. The armor is very minimal on him, so that could be something that Cats Gaming could have to their advantage here.
Yeah, if they wind up grabbing Parasite, you can steal the cape as well. It's something you can count on, per se, but something a little bit extra to look at.
Bubbles, the final pick. There's the Wild Soul, yep. I didn't really even want to think about it. He's on the board, you pick him up.
Now, question is, are they going for support, or are they going to go for a Suicide Wild Soul or a Jungle Wild Soul, I guess, is what sets the pacing of the rest of the team.
Yeah. Obviously, a little of that will have to do with how Pikachu finishes here, especially if they pass up that Parasite themselves. But that's not going to happen. Parasite is picked up, and another final pick. Could definitely see something like that Rally here to finish things off. But, okay, yeah, it is going to be Rally. So now it is going to be, again, more than likely.
Yeah, well, they could do armor, more minus armor with Master Arms. All three heroes can support very well. We like to talk about the Aluna. She's also a potential semi-carry if needed, and great secondary support option. Synergizes well with the Deadwood. Glacius would be the worst pick in this circumstance, in my opinion, but okay.
As they pick it up. Okay. So why is Glacius the worst pick of these three?
I just felt like the other ones had more to offer. The Deadwood Burst combination, the Power Throw, the laning's fine. I don't think we talked about Glacius versus Parasite. I'm not of the opinion that Glacius is much to worry about when you're a Parasite. More free food than anything. It's, I thought there was minus armor, way more synergy and utility coming out from Master of Arms. I didn't feel like Glacius was necessary, but never a bad support. It's not bad, I just thought it wouldn't be ideal. Also, Andromeda and Glacius, something about those two heroes, whenever I see them on the same team,
I agree.
Something just seems to lack enough oomph.
Well, I was sitting here thinking about that, so it's funny that you mentioned that, how if they were to go, say, a Luna or Master of Arms, you would figure that Andromeda would be the ward support, and a Luna Master of Arms could step up, get those earlier on tablets or
they can help each other.
Or help each other.
Yeah, for sure.
But with Glacius, it's kind of like, who is the ward? As I like to call the ward bitch here.
Glacius does. I mean, Andromeda can do pretty decently with items. I mean, she definitely she has a very powerful skill set, and if she's in those fights and staying alive, she's giving the damage aura, she's providing the minus armor. She is pretty damn evil, actually, to deal with. But, I just, for some reason, just when I see those two heroes, it doesn't work out as well. Obviously, look at their team, and it is very powerful. It's not like it's lacking, and looks like a very scary team fight, actually, relative to Hellborn. Hellborn's team looks nice, but it's like relying a lot on Zephyr's Snowball. Whereas Legion, you just look at that and they're like, damn, they can tear up a team fight.
And then they got plenty of late game potential on top of that, with the Wild Soul and Monkey King even, as we've seen before. And then hell, Andromeda is arguably one of the best scaling supports going into the late game. So yeah, it's that's definitely coming together pretty nicely for Cats Gaming. But at the other side, I mean, that is no doubt a concern. I mean, Wild Soul is a hero that won't bring the most presence earlier on in the game, at least outside of maybe the laning phase. Where when that push starts happening, unless he has that Mocker Brilliance by then, which it's going to be interesting to see if Scorpion is able to get that, then he isn't going to bring much to the table. So that's going to be that window, obviously, for Pikachu to really start making a move and taking advantage of the Wild Soul kind of lacking in terms of impact here. But into the game we go, into the laning phase here. And actually, an interesting start. You Ro16 chillin'. I'm going to go ahead and chat disconnect now before anything else happens. But
oh, he was going to spam from him too.
Yeah. got to chat disconnect still.
Right. Right away, Glacius laying down that Ice Imprisonment in the middle lane, establishing a little bit of dominance. Still, lane's sort of pushing up right now. Good for Foodsie to get some creep kills or just some experience in general.
Keep him boxed out. Good job. And, again, with the way the lanes are set up, it looks like at least the 2 out of the 3 lanes should win in favor of Cats Gaming. The Monkey King down here, the Deadwood in the middle lane. Of course, the top lane, and then there is the jungler aspect here on Pikachu's side. And what kind of an impact Parasite is going to have. You see Boo Boo doing the pull. Demented Shaman here to try to maybe take the pull away from him. Oh, yes, he is going to be able to. Well played by TPS Priceless right there. He takes the minions from him, and that's going to screw Wild Soul over even more.
Yeah, also helps out DS a lot.
Yeah.
He's like, sure, I'll become a jungler. This is awesome.
Yep, just kind of assisting right there for him. So that kind of backfired.
Yeah, it's in total futility, trying to... Oh, look at the chain pull!
Nice. Using the Snotter boss.
Bear, actually.
The Bear's bringing it back into them.
Yeah.
The Bear's like, here, I'll just help you out, screw it. He's waiting for the next blow at this point. Interesting. Well, yeah, I mean, this is just well played, though, at the same time, especially by Demented Shaman.
And it's stacked. The small camp got stacked there, too.
Very nice.
Wow, that's some of the best counter pulling I've ever seen.
What team are you on, Wild Soul? Come on. Helping out the other team more in this case.
Oh no, Wild Soul, what are you doing?
He did it again!
Stop! Wild Soul, stop!
What is he? Is he thinking that they're just gonna like stop all of a sudden? Why would he do that again?
Was right there. What was he? There's a whole other path to go.
Oh boy. Yeah. See that was just silly. Now that was just silly on his part. The first time it was very well played by Bubbles, but that time it's like, what? Come on.
He was right there. He wasn't hiding. We saw him doing it.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Well. Okay. Wild Soul is having a very little. In fact, he's helping out the team more on the other side than he. No, okay, enough ragging on him though. No, it's difficult.
It's got to be frustrating to deal with right now. So. That
Zephyr.
being said, did you see what Andromeda did? She did stack the medium camp above the pull camp and is using it now. She did a great job knowing that Book got the ward off. Instead of trying to stack the medium camp again, he stacked the camp behind it so he could get a chain pull off and kill the creep wave off entirely in spite of that.
Yeah, you do see Book is over here, but Book needs to be a little bit careful. I mean, Monkey King is coming over. The Aurora debuff is still on him for another 5 seconds. He's going to kind of pull it away, though. He's trying to just disorient Andromeda, if anything. But yeah, very well played here by Room 409, playing the Andromeda here.
Yeah, I was wondering, hoping maybe with that creep wave on him, he would get a stun off, and then with the creep speeding into him, wouldn't be a kill, but just some extra harass damage, you know? Because he's not really able to get in range too much. But yeah, he's keeping him edged out here. Very well done.
So we do see, actually Rally is going to be in a little bit of trouble. Performing at Ruins, going to be protected by Andromeda Glacius, though. Rally wanted to maybe do something with it, but Cats Gaming was not about to let him do so. So again, this landing phase working out very well for Cats Gaming. Deadwood and Monkey King are up there, man. 26 and 60 Monkey King, 25 and 11 Deadwood. Glacius and Viz now, yeah.
He's got to be careful because that, I mean, I don't think depending on how he,
Ooh. If that hit, that was a dead Bubbles most likely.
Yeah, I was feeling like he could try to lead with the Ice Imprisonment. Obviously, it wouldn't be the easiest thing, though. He could still use that Shell Surf ability.
Yeah. Not the easiest kill. So it would have been better off if Andromeda basically would have had that invis. But in the end, Bubbles, Fuzi here is going to be fine again. Fuzi at least getting the levels, but going back to Deadwood's having the better time here when it comes to creep farm in the middle lane. So, but then you got his Zephyr up here at the top side, always deadly, 33 and 13. He's up there with the Monkey King, in fact, really competing with him, and of course that Deadwood. The GPM chart's actually pretty interesting to look at, especially for the Legion side. Bubbles in a little bit of trouble again. He is going to be fine in the end, but in fact countering with a Shell Surf. But you got Wild Soul, Andromeda, and Glacius way down there. After the
Wild Soul doesn't even have his root yet. So these agents, you might get the medium one. Hopefully it gives him level 3. I'm not sure how far he is off. He is suffering.
He has to respawn the bear right there. Out of middle lane in the meantime. Devil's going to get collapsed on. 4 players all of a sudden show up and completely catch him off guard. So 5.5 minutes in, we see a Bloodlust kill in favor of Pikachu. Very good collapse right there. I mean, just seems like he had no clue. There's obviously no vision anymore. At least there is a new support site placed up here, but Demented Shaman able to sneak down here, and of course Parasite also coming over to pick up the kill.
How about the item build coming out from near, by the way?
Yeah, I just saw that too.
3 Scarabs.
Triple Scarab build. Interesting.
Just, trying to go for pure efficiency,
I think we know what he's going for.
I don't know. Ring of the Teacher, Blood Chalice, and
is there anything else after that?
Storm Spirit.
Yes, there is. You're right. That's probably not it, though. Oh, Rotten Grasp hits Demented Shaman, but he's going to be fine.
And a Harkins.
Yeah, so able to set up the killer once again in the middle lane, and actually coming back over with the Skeleton King here, so Bubbles is level 6 as well. Maybe this is another good timing here to set something up, perhaps on that Glacius. Try to catch Shiloh Styles a little bit too pushed up. He's not going to do it just yet, though. We do see the Skeleton King coming around. There's a Sword Aside here, however, and I believe it did spot him. And that's going to give the cue for this Legion team. And actually, Wild Soul's running over, going to spot the Skeleton King as well. So Parasite just going to be more of a nuisance here. No creeps, though, for him.
Yeah.
And now he's in some trouble. Now he's in a lot of trouble, actually. Yeah, he is really in trouble here. He is level 6. No creeps, so the courier runs right over him, spotting him. There goes the Tundra Blast. He's still on the run. Wouldn't it be something if you could take over Boo Boo? Or we see an Entangle maybe? No! Not going to happen. He bleaches Boo Boo right there. But here comes the cutoff. Andromeda joins the party. And guess what? Monkey King is here. And yes, he'll get the kill. Even the face hug was used, but doesn't matter. By the way, look at Monkey King. Alchemist Bones. Holy crap. I didn't even notice that. And he already has another 1439 gold saved up.
Yeah,
wow.
Yeah, just given that complete free farm, I mean, that's actually pretty absurd. He's sitting at 435 gold per minute.
Yeah.
Just got the kill there. He is going to be insane.
Yeah. Doesn't even have the boots yet. Again, doesn't even need them at this point.
Does now.
Especially with that cloud, the Nimbus.
The Nimbus.
What did he buy, by the way? He just bought something.
Oh, he has
Ghost Marchers. There you go. Well, yeah, there you go. Right into Ghost Marchers. Yeah, so he's off to a fantastic start here. 8 minutes in, already Alchemist Bones into the Ghost Marchers. Bubble's actually going to be able to bottle up the Illusion Rune here before Glacius can make it. Zephyr, though, again, doing a similar thing at this top lane in terms of just farming like a madman. He's nearing that 400 gold per minute mark as well. He's got the Helm of the Black Legion, very deadly item on him. And they're going to easily push this top tower. Andromeda tries to scare them off by herself, but that's just not going to happen. So that's the Zephyr effect coming into play right there.
Zephyr effect, indeed. I do like seeing that Bubbles with a Zephyr as well. Just, you know, if they're trying to run from that Cyclone and sort of...
makes them make a decision.
Yeah, that's all. Or you're going to take the Bubbles ulti and then get the follow-up Cyclone. You know, it's just, it is pretty hard to deal with.
Yeah. All right, so... Deadwood, again, despite him dying here in the middle lane, he is still farming 300 gold per minute and has his Steam Boots finish here. Wild Soul's been doing his darnest to recover. Ooh, top lane Andromeda is being dove on right here. Zephyr's there. The Typhoon and the Gust was used. Still couldn't get the kill on a level 4 Andromeda. That's actually pretty big.
I didn't catch how that started.
I didn't either.
A little bit of mispositioning there.
I mean,
the Gust was used as well?
Yeah, the Gust was definitely used. It was on cooldown there. I don't know if he just juked it or... It's very possible, actually. Oh, Deadwood in the meantime in the middle lane. Kelfield coming out. Rally's running in. Only level 5 right now. Has a couple. Misses. Not compelled though. Nice sidestep by Bow to me. He will take the Shell Surf, however, as well in the face hug. And down he falls. So a good initial sidestep, but it just wasn't to be for him. And the pickoff is successful in favor of Pikachu here. God, that build on Parasite, the Striders and the 3 Scarabs, that just looks hilarious.
Yeah. Well, he still has enough mana, I guess. I mean, he's not constantly going to be high, though. He's going to have periods of downtime, which I don't exactly like.
Yeah. Back to farm he goes.
Yeah.
He's farming about 250 gold per minute right now, though. But yeah, Zephyr, even despite missing that kill, he's still farming very well.
Once he gets his first Arcana, he'll be more than fine, though.
Oh, yeah.
Which he's closing in on, honestly.
Yeah, nearly 1,100 gold saved up here. So this game has definitely been an interesting one so far here, and what is the third and final game, of course, as you can see on your screen, ladies and gentlemen. Tuning in. Level 9 Monkey King here, Ghost Marchers, Alchemist Bones again, and has another 1,000 gold saved up, so curious to see where he goes from here now. Maybe it will be that Soul's Bulwark route, but again, at the same time, you do have a Wild Soul, who's doing his darndest, and actually isn't doing that bad now. I mean, he's got 1,500 gold pooled up here.
Yeah, it's much better. I mean, he was like level 2, and other heroes walking level 4, level 5, up to 200 gold per minute. Yeah, it could be definitely a lot worse.
That's what I was talking about. That Mock of Brilliance is always significant for him.
Alchemist Bones are completed on Monkey King, but he's sitting only on 420 gold per minute. Meanwhile, Zephyr, no Alchemist Bones, sitting at 440 straight battle items. So definitely sitting at a better spot than the Monkey King right now.
Well, I know you've talked about, and see, that's actually an interesting point. I meant to bring it up when we first saw the Alchemist Bones on Monkey King. A lot of heroes, like Hammerstorm, for example, He really benefits from that attack speed. Yeah, middle lane, though, actually. Wild Soul maybe hanging in a little bit too long. Has an entangle, and it goes off right away. But Bubbles responds with a Kelphin. You see the spread happening. Glacius and Wild Soul being locked down. Glacius might still be in trouble. Wild Soul going to be jumped on, but he's so damn tanky in that ulti form. Rarely going to be countered. The Falcon Punch used down. It goes by here. Comes Zephyr. Typhoon's applied. However, the Legion team is still more than fine. Bubbles goes into no man's land here. What was Fuzi thinking? Going so reckless. Nice take cover of the combo stone right there, but he is still in a lot of trouble. Now the FF Monkey King gets picked off in the meantime. Wow, he actually ported in by himself, and that did not pay off. So they do get a good kill there at the end. But Bubbles does get chased and eventually falls there, however. So.
And in the end, Monkey King gets dropped. Zephyr lives. Not ideal. Not ideal. Still, you could argue it's a little bit an exchange in favor of Team Cats. I mean, according to the graph anyway.
Yeah. But at the same time, yeah, Zephyr, it's the Zephyr effect as we keep referring back to. Okay, but yeah, so let's talk about the Alchemist Bones. Again, on Hammerstorm, with that Brute Strength activated, with the attack speed buff that you get from Alchemist Bones, that's actually useful on him. I don't see that on Monkey King. I mean, Monkey King doesn't seem like a hero that really benefits from attack speed, at least until, you know, the late game where then he's just crazy built up. But
yeah, it's just a farming tool on him, and Mana can help a Monkey King farm just as well, too. Still gotten early enough. I mean, you could always say it's going to have a role. I mean, it's still keeping his gold permanent really high. He accidentally did Alchemist Bones. It wasn't the Vagabond leader. It was like the mana burning one. Oh, he's getting jumped on here bottom.
Yeah, the Curse, man. And just look at that burst damage. He just falls. He has no stat items. Now that I'm actually thinking about that, too.
Nope.
He has zero stat items.
He basically just, for all intensive purposes for jumping into these fights, he just has Ghost Marchers at 13 minutes. If his team won a fight right there, say in the middle lane, with his Alchemist Bones and he won, and they went back to farming afterwards, at that point, Alchemist Bones would have been a purely positive item for him. Yeah. Because they lost that fight, and now because he died again, it's more of a liability.
Yep, it definitely is. And Andromeda is going to be counted on in the meantime in the middle lane. Oh, barely surviving, actually, but I just don't think it's going to last forever. Down she goes. TPS Price is on. Dimension Shaman getting credit for the kill. Glacius and Andromeda, they're pushing by themselves right there. And you got to question that. They actually throw up a red flag first off. I mean, why are your two supports pushing a middle tower by themselves is one thing, but yeah, again, we saw this in game one. I mean, the Cats Gaming, they're just all of a sudden they're just starting to make some poor decisions. And
can I throw something else out there? It's like, okay, the Monkey King was farming fine. If they won that fight, it might have been useful, but you're buying time for Wild Soul to farm. He's not joining these fights. It is up to Andromeda, Deadwood, Glacius, and Monkey King to hold fort, pose tower defenses, make things happen on their own, while Wild Soul farms up and gets his mock. Do you really want 2,000 early farm to be consumed by an Alchemist Bones, if that's the case?
Yeah. It's, I think it's clearly a fact now. I mean, obviously it's somewhat of a hindsight at this point, but it's clearly a fact now that it hasn't been paying off, as you were talking about that middle fight, and then in the fact that he just got ganked to the bottom lane. It's kind of it's taken back a little bit on the fact that he went the Alchemist Bones first, but he does get a couple of ring mills here, so he is going to be working on a Soul's Bulwark at least. Andromeda with a swap at the top lane, take cover from Fuzi though on the combo stun. Beautiful timing on his part, and he will be able to easily survive as a result. So great reaction coming out from Fuzi there.
Meanwhile, he's rotating to the bottom lane here, looking to pick off Monkey King again. They might get him without him, though. Yeah, he tried to use his Wanjin Slam right there with the Heavenly Vault, but the good silence for the face suck. Shell Surf connects, and there's the Song of the Sea. So the port does end up helping big time. As Fuzi gets credit for the kill. It's still more brewing, though. Devil was thinking about running in, but now he's going to start falling back. I mean, speaking of Deadwood, again, he's been consistently around that 300 mark GPM. 1660 gold saved up, so still on his way to a portal key. But, you know, Monkey King's impact, it's definitely gone downhill big time here. Yeah, and even in that middle fight when he died, he ended up dying by one extra auto attack. Just one auto attack. So a lot of item pickups that could have been bought there would have helped him survive that.
Yeah.
And just totally changed his pacing right here.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate, man. It is unfortunate. Portal key almost on Deadwood. Portal key almost on Bubbles. And Zephyr just has a mound of gold. He's sitting on 520 gold per minute.
Yeah, you just got to be. It's always an item that's enticing in those Alchemist spawns. Like you said, he got it at a really early timing, clearly, and he was having free farm, and no doubt it can be enticing to pick that up. But Yeah, you do have to think of the big picture, and I think the biggest one that you were stressing is that you're building a team around this wild so early game to have an impact, so that he can have an impact into that mid to late game stage. And you know, by you going the Alchemist Bones and then on top of that the Ghost March, which is fine, I guess, but you're making a point that you want to also farm. And you know, what do you think's going to happen, especially against the Zephyr lineup here on Pikachu? That they're just going to let you do that? Probably not. Monkey King again gonna fall. It's just. We got to stop talking about it, man.
I know. Well, his first 4,000 plus gold he has no stats from it. So
that's the best way to put it.
Yeah, I mean, he's just got what he was born with, basically. That's.
It's his birthday suit and not much else.
Yeah.
Well, there's the good news here for Cats. Wow, sort of the high was just picked up by Wild Soul, so Marketplace in the works, but guess what? You have a Zephyr, 535 gold per minute. We're starting to see that whole Zephyr team fight come into play now. He's got an Ice Brand, the Soul's Bulwark, the Helmet of the Black Legion. They're doing some split pushing here is Pikachu. They're going to give this bottom tower, perhaps. It's going to be close. But, yeah, it's really, Cats Gaming has a lot of work cut out for them right now. I mean, they still don't have that portal key on Deadwood. Haven't even managed to pick that up yet, at least. Nothing. It's falling apart. It really is. Even with that sort of the high. I mean, even if they get a Mock of Brilliance now in the next couple of minutes, he doesn't have the team support, honestly. At this point, it seems like.
Not yet. Not yet. I'm just sort of waiting here. Monkey King, I mean, he actually had more gold towards his Bulwark, I feel like, 4 minutes ago. That's with Alchemist Bones. I mean, I'm just. Oh, God, they need something. They just need a little bit of an overextension. Need that Mach and Wild Soul. Hope the enemy team overextends. Get a 3-man for 0 wipe. Go back to farming and then grow out of control. That's their best hope right
That's
now.
all they need.
Yeah. Well, it's not something that can't happen. At least though, it's not.
Of course, of course.
We've seen this Wild Soul. As soon as the Mach enters these fights, it causes so much chaos. Actually, is that Bubbles getting his portal key delivered, or did he buy something else?
Yeah.
Okay, it is. Nice. Yeah, so, but basically they're looking on mistakes once again.
Hellflower finished on Nier, by the way. He has a Wild Hunter here right off the bat, too. Oh, Andromeda, you are going to be fine, apparently. The Wild Hunter runs right by, and he wants the bottom lane. He wants Deadwood down here. That's what he was going for. Oh, but he turns around, actually, as the Wild Hunter Invis runs off.
Yeah, just going to wait for that recast on it here. And scout back towards the middle lane.
I'm going to find it for now. Going back.
Uh-oh, Monkey.
It's a Monkey King again. No, he's going to be fine. Hasted Bubbles on top of that now, too. But no, they're not going to catch anybody in the end, so that'll work out. Of course, that's the good thing about Wild Hunters. There's always 2 of them. And he goes and takes over the other one now.
Indeed. And I don't even know if they knew he had the first one, so
yeah.
Looking for the pick-off again.
Oh, Andromeda, you are 100% dead this time. You were good the first time. This time, not so much. Everything really used right there. But here comes a Falcon Punch from Deadwood. Parasite will fall. The Seismic Slam on top. Bowdemy's dropping pretty quickly. He'll be fine in the end. The Storm Cloud was applied to the Legion team. You can definitely see that right there. But now Monkey King, he is going to start falling back. He has a Soul's Bulwark here, and it currently is set to defensive measures to kind of help him in that fight there. But it ends up being Andromeda for Parasite, which Cats Gaming should be happy with. But again, while this is all happening, Zephyr just continuing to farm like a boss here. 545 gold per minute now. This bottom tower is also going to fall here in Pikachu's favor. And that'll even help Zephyr's farm that much more. He's 35. Okay, he buys a Warp Clef there, so. Demonic Breastplate. It's finished.
Yep. And meanwhile, Mach is finished up, and pretty much this Ancient Camp right here, double damage room, going to help him clear it out.
Yeah. Well, that's good. That's good for Cats Gaming, at least.
Step 1.
It is step 1 of a many-step program here. We'll see, though. Congo is being attempted here from Pikachu. Again, they feel pretty confident that they can even take a fight if Cats Gaming wants to, so they might as well try to go for Congo here.
Yeah, they're on their step 4, so
yeah,
with this Congo kill.
And it goes back to as well. I mean, Zephyr, again, the idea of being deceptively tanky, not anymore. He has a Demonic Breastplate. He has 26 armor here. He obviously has that Demented Shaman teammate who went for the maximum defensive build. He didn't put any levels in Tangle here.
Yep.
He's maxing out Unbreakable on top of that Healing Wave.
And Bubbles for the counter initiate on top of Rally pushback, just in case.
Mm-hmm. So, and now you have a token of life on top of it all for the Zephyr.
Yeah, it can be pretty damn difficult to deal with. Monkey King can be really annoying to push against in the base, though, with the flick back still.
Yeah.
Zephyr, as farmed as he is, it's not something he's too concerned about, I reckon.
Yeah, and he's level 16, yeah. Well, Wild Soul at the Mach, it is a very effective farming tool as well for him, so expect his gold to perhaps raise here. Portkey on Deadwood running right into Bubbles here. Bubbles scouting things out. He's going to Portkey first, though, but here comes Deadwood, the Shell Surf, however, in the takeover, and he will be fine. Get good reactions coming out from Fuzi there. Playing the Bubbles. These two teams, 1,000 gold, and again, in a sense, on the line here between these two teams, and right now it's looking like Pikachu's in the favorable spot as Monkey King gets gusted in, but he'll be fine. Just using the elusive dash to get away right there.
Yeah, Frostburn, meanwhile, almost finished by Zephyr as well. Already has the Quick Blade, just looking for 1,000 extra gold, and he'll have it.
There you go. That's what you can definitely start doing with Wild Soul, pushing those towers. But their middle tower now being pressured. The last outer tower here, it is going to fall. Sacrificial Stone on Rally, by the way. Not one we see too often on him, but figuring to invest in it this time. They're going to mass port to the bottom lane. Bubbles trying to set up the counter. It looks like he misses the Kelfield, though. Bubbles jumps in on to Deadwood, but it's just him. The Compel comes out, though. And now Deadwood in a lot of trouble. He's trying to cut through the trees, but it's not going to be enough. So they will not only stop the push, but they do get a counter kill in the process. As now Cats Gaming going to maybe try to counter push themselves here in the middle lane, at least.
600 gold per minute, pretty much. I mean, the Ancients are being killed right now. 600! 623 minutes. It has just been climbing. Absolutely off the wall.
Yeah.
211 creep kills.
Yeah, jeez. That is up there. 23.5 minutes in. So, like I said, though, Cats Gaming, at least they get a counter push in the middle lane. So, again, it's kind of some positives here. You do got Monkey King. He finally purchases a Mighty Blade. Okay. So he has stats finally. 23.5 minutes into the game. He has actually stats that help his life pool and whatnot. Got the Mighty Blade, so of course Shrunken Head on the works here for him, which will definitely be useful. You got Wild Soul picking up a Shrunken Head himself, or actually a Mighty Blade himself here. Interesting.
Yeah.
Huh.
I don't know. That's
because you already have the souls obviously on Monkey King, but
okay. Well, they have the souls on Monkey King, so still, I mean, I guess he's going for the Frostburn route for his main hero, so for extra tankiness, I suppose. I mean, unless he's going for a Shrunken Head, actually. They do have a lot of magic damage coming out. They have the Bubbles, they have the Zephyr. Might actually go for the Shrunken.
Yeah. I kind of feel like why not Barrier out of then if you're going for Shrunken?
Yeah,
because you're already so tanky and then want to help the team out. Yeah. I mean, he does buy Mystic Vestments right there as well. Well, at least he will be. He's nearly 2,000 life with this build on top of the Mystic Vestment, so he himself is fine. But again, Boo Boo's not necessarily. Well, again, he does have a Mock of Brilliance on Boo Boo, so he is still quite the threat. But the Hellborn team, especially with that token of life on Zephyr, they're not going to give two shits. They're going to go up the hill right here into the tower, and Rowley and Zephyr leading the way. You see the Aurora is going to be applied. Again, not really caring too much. Frostburn just finished on Zephyr, by the way, too. Has it delivered as they're making this push happen. So it's a double-edged sword here for Cats Gaming. Monkey King, he's going to go in, but Monkey King will just be bursted down as soon as he jumps in. The Kelfield was used, and just too much return damage. This tower is definitely going to fall right here. Monkey King cannot buy back. Will they be able to still make something happen, though? There's the stun. The Falcon punching a Rally. Rally is going to go down, actually. Zephyr dropping pretty low. Nice swap out from Andromeda right there. Saves Deadwood. Andromeda may very likely fall herself. Glacier goes down. Glacier buys back immediately, though. And Zephyr does barely stay alive. But he does stay alive nonetheless. He gets the tower kill, and now he's going for the melee racks again. He has the token of life. He may end up falling in the end. Boo Boo's still trying to do work right here. Leech going to be used. Maybe Zephyr. Zephyr? Oh. Oh, barely lives. Okay.
Still Cyclones, too.
Yeah. So, no token used.
Nope.
And they get the tower.
Yeah, just going to reapproach now and go again. I mean, they got the tower. They got the tower, so.
Rax does stay alive, though, so at least that's the good thing for the Hellborn team. Gnome's Wisdom on Bubbles, by the way.
Yeah, he's had it for a bit now. Just It's been a while since I've even been able to pick it up, just I guess because he's spamming it out. I don't usually prefer that route, though.
Okay, Brutalizer is going to be the build here on Wild Soul.
Oh, yeah, I was going to suggest, I was going to say Brutalizer's another, no, I wouldn't say super common upgrade path for Wild Soul, but it's something we do see from time to time.
Yeah, again, I thought about it, but without the attack speed, it is kind of a...
With the demonic, yeah.
Oof,
that's why I was also sort of feeling like, okay, if he goes charged hammer or something, maybe for attack speed and damage, then he'll maybe get a Brutalizer, but yeah.
Wow, Deadwood's all the way down here, and he gets a pick on Dimension Shaman, actually. Didn't even notice that. But with both teams losing a support, Pikachu feeling confident that they can now take the advantage. They still have the token, remember, on Zephyr. You got Boo Boo at half-life. Doesn't have a respawn of the bear, so... Also needs to be a little bit careful about that. Monkey King again jumping in, but it quickly falls away right there. He knows what happened last time. Doesn't want that to happen again. He's kind of just clearing up the creep wave. He's going to be competent right here. In comes the kill with the Compel will miss, but it doesn't matter. The burst damage too intense. Typhoon is put down. Zephyr, 50 seconds on the token of life still. He is going to be locked down. He may eventually fall. The Cyclone's healing him up. Yes, he will barely fall. But it's just almost as if that's what he wanted right there. He is going to fall back. Glacius will get... No, we won't get to the well. The Shell Surf hits him. And he eventually dies. So Pikachu committing big time right here. But again, they've gotten the melee racks. Deadwood now coming back in. He has a Falcon Punch in 15 seconds. I don't know if they're going to be able to stay in that long, though. As the Elbow team, no, they still are, though. Andromeda's going to get gone on. She got caught in the front lines. GGs are being called. Cats Gaming just knows it's just too much to handle. The Zephyr effect came to play, and it came to play big time. And Pikachu will defeat Cats Gaming 2-1 here in the Sound Blaster Heroes League. And they will now not only guarantee themselves $1,000, so I'm sure excited for that, but they move on to the next round. And they play the winner of that TDM Team Excellence Series. So I'm sure they're excited, as they should be. Cats Gaming, though, fell just short, unfortunately, for them, Emperor. So.
Yeah. I mean, we saw right there the Monkey King was the counterpoint of the Zephyr, sort of in that game. When he jumped in at the end, they were so overfarmed by that point, he just evaporated.
Yeah.
I mean, it took a second. So, yeah, very well played in the end by Pika. Deserving. We'll see who they play next.
Yeah, again, that series is going to be coming up next here on Honcast after a short break. But, again, looking back at this, you do got to bring it up one more time, really. That Monkey King, the choice to go Alchemist Bones, no doubt didn't pay off in the end. Having the no stat items for the longest time, clearly that was an issue for them. But on top of that too, I mean, again, you are dealing against a Zephyr team. It clearly started to come into play there as the game progressed on. Zephyr was getting that free farm in his own right, so not to put too much blame by any means on.
Yeah, and if one fight went differently right there, like that middle fight, if he didn't die, he still would have been snowballing just fine. Just the way it all sort of compounded upon each other, it just turned out bad. So oh well.
Yeah, so again, with that said, that is going to be it here for our first series of Cats Gaming versus Pikachu. But now we're going to look forward to our next series. It was set to start in about 20 minutes from now, so most likely going to stick to that schedule, pending some last-minute changes. But that, of course, Trademark Esports versus Team Excellent. Again, that's a matchup there that a lot of people should be excited to watch, and I'm definitely excited to cast it because a rematch of this recent Han Tour that happened last week, and in Team Excellent knocking out Trademark Esports of Han Tour, Cycle 7. No doubt, again, TDM looking for some revenge, but also Team Excellent, you know, we've been just talking more and seeing more of these guys here lately and how good they've been doing. So I'm definitely intrigued to see them, man, and I'm looking forward to a good best of the 3 series there. I really am in that one. So
I agree.
We are going to take a short break here, though. Going to get things set up for that, and we will keep the stream on, of course. No reason to take it down, but I do want to let you guys know also that we will be doing another giveaway here for Sound Blaster, another pair of headsets, just like we did yesterday. I think we plan to do it even every day as far as the coverage is concerned. So plenty of giveaways, more incentive to tune in on top of some awesome Heroes of New Earth matches, of course. And we'll have more information for you guys when we come back for the next cast. So definitely stay tuned for that. But this also will be the final matchup here of the first round well, actually, no, because the Complexity Series did get rescheduled. But it will be, you know, the final matchup for now of, again, TDM versus Team Excellent here for the Sound Blaster Heroes League. So any final words, Emperor, before we go into the break here?
Nah, pretty much takes care of it, Breaky.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, sit tight, though, guys. Again, we got a great best of 3 matchup, some more giveaways coming up. Stay tuned. Game 1 of our next series, about 20 minutes from now, should be looking to get started. We'll give you guys updates if we get them, pending any changes. But looking forward to that. Have a good night until then. But we'll see you back. TDM versus Team Excellent.